All right, it's kind of a gloomy, chilly day today. The boys are outside doing whatever the boys do. So I was just thinking, let's make some fresh pasta. Fresh pasta is one of those things that you only need a few ingredients. Like it only takes like 2 or 3 ingredients, but it is a bit of a process to make. So you need a bit of time. This is one of those things you make like on a snowy, kind of rainy weekend day. So let's get ready. Let's get dressed. Let's make some fresh pasta. Okay, so I'm just gathering my ingredients. This recipe is based off of Gordon Ramsay's masterclass. If you don't know about masterclass, it's just like they teach you how to do a bunch of random things. And of course, Gordon Ramsay would have the best recipe. And you only really need 2 to 3 ingredients to make homemade pasta, which is crazy. The main 2 ingredients are flour and eggs. Gonna wanna use double O flour just because it's better for the pasta. You can use regular flour, but it just might not be like as light and fine, but you can probably use all-purpose flour if you don't have double O flour, but if you do have some, definitely use double O flour. And the other main ingredient is eggs. So you're gonna need 4 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. Oh, and I guess I forgot to mention 2 cups of your double O flour and then just a little bit of olive oil. And that's really all you need for homemade pasta, which is crazy. So let's do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to grab your eggs and just crack them all into a bowl. And just give that a nice whisk. Oops. Okay. So now you're gonna grab your flour and just place it on top of your surface, kind of making like a little mountain, and then you're just gonna make a well. Add your little bit of olive oil at the middle, and then you're gonna add a little bit of your egg mixture, about 1/4 of it, and just mix in the edges. Just being gentle not to break the walls. Okay, then we can add a bit more of the eggs in the center. Okay, and again, mixing in the sides gently. So you're essentially kind of pushing the walls out and grabbing a little bit, but not breaking them just yet. Okay, and then add most of the remaining, except leaving about 1 tablespoon. And you're just gonna mix it all together. And it's gonna look shaggy, rough and crummy. Just mixing it all together. And then once it starts to come together like this, just lightly flour your hands and you're just gonna knead it, grabbing all of the flour and kneading it into a ball. This is awesome. Just kind of rolling the ball around, grabbing all the flour and all the bits. It might stick to your hands a little bit. Just grab a little bit of flour and kind of rub them together and add that to the dough. And we're just gonna knead this for a few minutes. If it sticks to your hands, just grab a bit of flour and sprinkle it on. You can see here how it's like kind of starting to form into a ball. It's not sticking so much. Going, the gluten is developing. Part is a little bit more of like a workout. So roll this into a ball, and then we're gonna wrap this tightly in plastic wrap. Okay. Super tight. You don't want any air, and then we're gonna pop this in the fridge. Okay, so our dough has been resting in the fridge for a few hours. This part, we are going to be using a Cuisinart or a KitchenAid kind of pasta roller. This really makes the process so much easier. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can roll it out by hand, but it is quite challenging. Beautiful and yellow. We're gonna cut it into 4. And then we're gonna use one and wrap the rest. Okay, so we're gonna pop the 3 other ones back in the fridge. And I like to do it this way because it makes a surprisingly large amount of pasta and it becomes pretty unmanageable when you're rolling it out once it gets really thin. Okay, so we've got our part of dough and we've got our KitchenAid attachment. We're just gonna turn it on to a low speed and put it on the highest level, which is an 8 for this one, and you're just gonna put your dough through it. You can add a little bit of flour so that it doesn't stick here. That's pretty important, but you don't want to put too much. So put it through a few times on the lowest level until it really starts to form, and then you're gonna notch it down another notch. Once you start to see that it's becoming easy for the dough to go through, you can change it to the next level. Okay, so I'm gonna put it at a 7. Pull it through until it's easy for it to come through. Gentle. This is why you want to go on a slow speed as well. The first time I did this, I did the whole dough and it was just insane. So unmanageable. It was just flying everywhere. It's crazy. Okay, so we're going to switch our attachment to the cutter. Okay, and again, we're going on a low speed. And we're just going to pull it through. Ooh, beautiful. Wow. And you just want to catch it, kind of guide it. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. This is only a quarter of the dough. Isn't that insane? Okay. Okay, and here's our first batch, the first quarter of it. Place it in a bit of semolina flour so that they don't. I'm so excited. It's so fresh and look at how supple. Oh, amazing. So you want to store this in an airtight container with some parchment paper and a little bit of semolina. And ideally, you're going to use it the day of and just store that in the fridge.